Welcome back at ROWDY. Today we're going to talk about fear. Fear of taking action, fear of taking risks, fear of doing stuff, fear of trying new things, fear of doing an investment. All these different types of fear are all blocking you from the things that you want. Because you have this idea in your head that you want something new, you want to learn something new, you want to achieve something new, you want to obtain something new, you want to grab something new. All things that are new to you. So let me take you to the board and then we're gonna break fear down. So the world that you know at this moment when you're totally comfortable is this. So it's a circle and and you're here in the middle and you can act within those lines. So let's say these are your habits, going to the grocery store, talking to people you know, talking to your family, spending money on things that you certainly know that they are right, everything that you know, so you know it's safe. So you won't be fearful in these moments, you are comfortable. And then the second layer, and this is where we want to go today, is when we draw another circle, or here, you can go in different ways in life, because you can expand your life. That's the whole idea. People are naturally explorers. Let me explain. When humans are starting to exist, we started off in Africa, and this was not a long-term good environment because there were no seasons. So we couldn't provide food because every day was the same. It was super hot and people had to live from day to day. So they have to expand, and eventually they went up to Europe, and that is where at some point the human race went over the whole world, and that's how we expand the world. So naturally we should expand, we should explore new things. So let me explain. This part that you know is dark. So do you remember those games you had, like when you were 12 years old, 9 years, you had a game, I think it was called Age of Empires, and you had this game and then you had a certain village that was yours and you had your soldiers and you had to walk into the dark. And the dark is for you, that's fear. You don't know what is coming. Oh, it's new. But the thing is with expanding your known world is that new things and better things are about to happen in this new world. But why are we so fearful towards the new? Let me explain. The human race wasn't always the top race in the animal kingdom. That became most clear when humans invented fire. So back then in the days we were not the top race. Animals were lions, big animals who were hunting us. So we're kind of fearful. So we had to sneak around to stay safe, and we had to do this very carefully, but we're still acting the same way, especially now that everything is fearful and we live in a time where everything is uncertain, and in every step you have to think like what am I gonna do next, or you have to be careful with your steps, with your investments, with your actions. If you hang out with the wrong person, you might get infected. So there are all these things that might block you from getting the things that you want. So how do you want to live, and how do you want to get forward, and how do you want to go into these unknown areas, and how do you do that? How do you do that? Be brave. So that's the first thing you have to know. If you come into a situation which you don't know, where you feel fear, where you feel a blockage, when you feel that something is holding you back and you think, if I do this, it might go wrong. And what you will experience is that is natural. It is natural for you to feel that you're gonna die. That's almost the feeling that you need to have. But the thing is, there's a lot of rewards in the unknown. You will get more confident. And what is confidence? Confidence is the way of feeling comfortable in the unknown. So people say like, okay, I'm comfortable. That is not where you're confident. Confidence comes when you come into situations you don't know. So, and that is actually living on the edge, as people say it. So the edge is here, it's on the border of the known world and the unknown world. And at some point your known world gets bigger and bigger, and you get more confident in the world. That is basically what it means. So what do you want, and how do you want to get there? So If you try this every day, you will see that your comfort zone or your area of comfort will expand if you every day you add a new part to your known world. So do something you don't know, do something new, invest in something new, meet a new person, do a new exercise, do try something with your career, talk to people at your workplace that you don't know. And you will see from there, you will experience new things. This is actually how your life is gonna expand. This is how you are going to grow and where you're gonna meet maybe new women, new men, potential partners, knowledge, especially knowledge. If you're always staying to the same place, you will always know what you already know. And you see that often when people don't do this. You will sit on the table with them, you're there at the dinner table, and you know these conversations, right? You know you're having dinner and the conversations are always about the same thing. Always. Like they start off quite new because people are gonna say they're gonna tell a story and this and that, and at some point the conversation just goes towards one thing. You always know it's always gonna finish there, or it's always going into that topic that you already know. And if you are bored of that, if you're say like, okay, that's enough for me, then this is the way to go. This is the way to go to meet these new people, because in these new conversations you will learn new things. And the funny thing is, when you're sitting with these people in your first zone, you can tell them about this and they might surprise you. They might surprise you that they tell them that they tell you that they have also been there, that they also know some things from this new thing that you are also aware of and that you're conscious about, that there is actually more than just this small circle. And the more you expand, the more you can connect with people. So what you often see is as people don't develop, they have also a small amount of people that they can connect with. So this is what it's gonna bring you. The more you expand, the more people also are gonna like you, because you can talk about certain things. So men tend to focus on one area. They tend to be super good at one thing. The women are a little bit better at this. They can expand their the amount of subject that they know about. Women are more they are more comfortable talking about different subjects. And men tend to be focused and that they don't listen so good into these new areas. So if you want to develop as a man and talk better to people, then you should be open to talk about these things that you don't know. So what does that mean? If you talk about things you don't know, admit that you don't know. So that's how you learn. Because if you're going to talk about only the thing that you know here, then you won't get smarter or you won't get any better. Makes sense, right? So if you put yourself more in a vulnerable position, then and you say like, okay, I don't know how that works, and you ask some questions about the subject because you want to learn, you want to get better, then you have to admit that you don't know. I'll give you an example. Recently, I did something I had never done before. So I had my circle of influence, I had my my comfort zone, and I tried a new hobby. So it was something I've never done in my life before, at least not in a serious way. I didn't take any former lessons because I started taking a dancing lesson. I've never done this. So you can act in two ways in these situations. So what you can do is that when you go into these lessons, you can say, okay, I know how to dance. I know how this works. Don't tell me how it works. Like, I will show you. Or you say, okay, dude, it's my first time here. I don't know. Tell me what I need to do step by step, because I'm here to learn. I want to get better. And this is actually the person who gets more attention, who is also more liked, because he's not putting his ego up. And this is a big thing for a lot of men. If you want to develop in life, if you want to make more money, if you want to meet new women, if you want to connect with your colleagues better, and if you want to do sales better, then you have to do things and learn about things that you don't know. So after a few weeks of being vulnerable and saying like, okay, dude, I don't know, I'm not good at this, not at all, I actually got better. So I was asking questions and I said like, okay, can you explain this another time, because I don't really get it. And then I got better. And this is the same thing with relationships. This is the same thing with your career. This is the same thing about investing. So let's talk about investing a little bit. If you don't know how investing works, ask people who know. It is not a problem to ask people, like, how did you do that? How did you make that? Can you explain me that? Can I take you out for lunch so we can talk about this thing? And then you get better and better and better. So expand this part, and you will feel some fear though, because you feel this resistance, because that was where we were coming from. So here you will see that this is totally comfortable for you. Like, this is all the things you know. This is your current hobby, this is your current friends, it's your current partners, it's your current career, it's your current investing strategy. To get to these new levels, because somewhere in here is the gold, is their success, as people call it. It's somewhere here. Let's make a, I don't know what this is, kind of like a tree or something, I don't know, or treasure. So should we do a treasure? I'm like a worst, like I should take some painting lessons or writing lessons in these things. Let's say this is a treasure. So at some point you hit this, you find the thing that you want. So this is really what it is about. You are an explorer, and you'll have to fight against fear by being brave. And then at some point, because everybody wants different things in life, right? So some person might want to go here. They want to have the education that they are looking for, the degree. So they have to expand their knowledge towards this goal that they're trying to achieve. Because if you're not satisfied with what you have, and you want more, what do you want? You know, and what direction do you need to grow to get there? And to who or to what should you be vulnerable to get there? Those are the questions you should think about. And if you at some point you get a plan, because this, you know, you can grow in any direction. But what I said before, men tend to grow in one direction. Women tend to be more complete in their character. They know more about different things. But the question is, like, how do you get to what you want? And most of the time fear is blocking you. So if you know how to expand this circle of comfort every time, every day, every hour, then you will get eventually what you want. And at some point you get comfortable expanding this circle, so you get less fearful. Because the opposite of being fearful is brave. Because it's not like fear and cowardness. Like, those are two different things. Like a coward, the fear and cowardness, it's not like they're sort of like connected. You want to beat the fear, you need to be brave. You need to take that action towards this new part to work towards this goal. So I hope this helps. And if you have an opinion about this subject, leave a comment in the description, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.